which have gone on for 60, 70 years with no solution in sight. You have people, Palestinians in refugee camps, who have lived in refugee camps for 3 generations already. That type of prolonged deprivation creates frustrations, and frustrations then lead people to do absolutely abnormal acts. So I would imagine that it is more ideological and cultural frustration than economic frustration as the root cause of terrorism. On the question of sovereignty, you know that the International Criminal Court has a statute, and the statute recognizes sovereignty. In other words, it says that if a criminal act is committed, it is the right of the host country to first try the person of its own citizen. And only if the host country is unwilling or unable to exercise jurisdiction, only then does the International Criminal Court come into play. And this is what is called the doctrine of complementarity. And complementarity is a fundamental part of the International Criminal Court. And so in the case of the hypothetical case of an Afghan who is to be tried for terrorist acts, under the International Criminal Court, it would be an Afghan jurisdiction first. And only if Afghanistan did not exercise its jurisdiction would the International Criminal Court come into play. Now, I hope your question is not about Guantanamo, which is in a way a denial of the International Criminal Court and a denial of the whole principle of habeas corpus. We are talking strictly about the International Criminal Court, which was your question. Do you have any disagreement?
Just on the first part, the second part of regarding ICC, in the case of Afghanistan, the rule of law in Afghanistan getting strength every day, and it is the authority of Afghan people to bring to the justice all criminals in Afghanistan, including terrorists. If the government of Afghanistan will not be able or will deny to bring to these criminals and to the court, it's a different issue. But for the time being, the government of Afghanistan is trying to build the capacity, and we have the capacity right now to bring to the justice those criminals first, and the second, we have a great number of understanding and cooperation with the international community, and we don't have any problem to bring the criminals to the international court. On the first part of the question on terrorism, what's the main reason behind the ideology or economic? It is a long discussion. It's here at the UN and everywhere. Some people they argue like which is first, eggs or chicken. But in my understanding, that ideology is the main cause, but they will try to find the breeding ground in most devastated and needy part of the world, and then they will try to abuse the situation of people who are in bad economic situation, who are uneducated, who are in need. And so the ideology of terrorism will try to abuse the condition, the situation of other peoples in order to recruit the human resources around them and to implement their unhuman goals. Thank you.
Over to Roger Williams for 2 questions, followed by Madison.
My question is for Ambassador Kamal. I would like to know a little bit about Pakistan's position on the United States bombing alleged terrorist targets within your country's borders.
And the second question is, who's financing terrorism in Afghanistan?
Very interesting questions. Congratulations to Roger Williams for 2 fascinating questions. Let me take the first, and Master Ayoob will take the second. The question is, the US is coming and showing its love for Pakistan by bombing it every day, or frequently twice a day or more. We've had approximately 30 plus missile attacks in Pakistan, some of them as deep as 75 miles inside the border. Now, this gives rise to two possibilities. If there is one or two attacks, it can be a mistake, it can be deliberate. But when you have 30 plus attacks, then it's obviously policy. And so the reaction to policy can be one of two things. Either the government of Pakistan is incapable of defending its own territory against foreigners, in this case the United States, in which case the government of Pakistan is proving to be inept and incapable. And that has serious implications for a country which has, after all, a fairly strong economy and a strong army and a strong political system. And so ineptitude has political implications in the country. The other possibility is that the government of Pakistan has a deal with the United States. And it's a secret deal in which they say, you can go ahead and come and bomb us, and we will just keep protesting, but we won't protest too much. And it'll only be for public show that we will be protesting. And this appears to be the more acceptable of the two theories, because every time there's a missile attack, there's a protest, but it is never pushed too hard. If Pakistan was really upset with the United States, this is, after all, an act of aggression. If this was an act of aggression, then Pakistan would be totally justified bringing the act of aggression by the United States into the Security Council in the United Nations. But it is not doing that. And therefore, it is reasonable grounds to presume that all this is part of a secretly agreed scenario. Now, that being said, the fact remains that the public in Pakistan is terribly annoyed with this situation. And the government of Pakistan is now coming under pressure. And the people are coming out into the streets because they think the government is inept. Not, see, if it's a secret deal, that would have political implications also. But ineptitude has very serious implications. And so, to sum up my answer, I have a feeling that this question of missile attacks, which are going to increase even more, probably substantially more under President Obama than under President Bush, in which case I'm afraid the tensions inside Pakistan will increase and we may have to face fresh elections in Pakistan because this government will not be able to resist. Sorry for a long answer. Who is financing terrorism in Afghanistan, sir? Where's the money coming from? Not from Pakistan. Pakistan is a poor country. So who are the rich countries who are giving you the money?
Yes, Ambassador Kamal took the easiest question, but he left the hard question for me, And I'll try to my best to answer as much as I have the information. Of course, beside the sheltering the terrorism, one of the main problem which terrorists exist and can actively operate, it is their financial resources. And in the case of Afghanistan, according to the information I have, I can share with you, terrorists try to criminalize the economy in Afghanistan. It means they encouraged people to plant narcotics in Afghanistan. So Afghanistan, unfortunately, right now, one of the biggest producer of narcotics in the whole world. And terrorism and drugs and drug dealers and narcotics, their interests so intertwisted that they are supporting each other. They are working with each other very closely. And that's why the narcotics is one. I have to repeat, one of the main sources of financing for terrorism in Afghanistan and the region.
Are you saying that you are a rich country and you don't need external finances and the financial crisis is not affecting you because you can grow your own money through opium in the country?
No, I'm saying that narcotics, it never was a tradition in Afghanistan. It is a product of war in Afghanistan. It's a new